I got you on my mind. That's a fact. Are you gonna be in love with me? I want you and need you to be.
Hey y'all, let's make some blueberry muffins. So I like to use fresh and frozen blueberries. So I divided some right here in my bowl. And of course, to make muffins, you are going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We are going to need 1 cup of granulated sugar, a half of cup of unsalted butter, y'all, unsalted. We will need a cup of milk, and we will need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Here I have some vanilla and almond extract, and of course we need 2 eggs. And let's not forget our salt. I'll go over those measurements in a minute. Now for my blueberry muffins, I use sugar in the raw, and that's cane sugar. Of course we need our muffin pans, and I brought out my big boy, and that is my heavy duty mixer. So let's get into it. Preheat the oven to 375 and go ahead and get out your 12-cup muffin tin. And of course we have to line our tin with paper liners. Now this is just my particular preference. You do not have to do this at all. You can skip this step if you don't want to, but I like to line it with the paper liners.
Who gon' stand against me? Who gon' win against the views all around me? I been drowning mountains in the sea.
Now I'm going to spray my pan and the liners with some non-stick cooking spray. You do not have to do this if you don't want to, but this is just my preference. So let's go ahead and mix our dry ingredients. We will be starting off with the 2 cups of all-purpose flour, followed by the 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and the salt measurements, it's going to be 3/4 tablespoons of salt. And when baking, I definitely like to mix all of my dry ingredients first, and then separately all of my wet ingredients. So once you added all your dry ingredients in the bowl, just go ahead and give it a nice mix. I like to use a whisk for this, but you want to make sure all of the ingredients that you incorporated into your dry mix is all combined together.
Don't worry about me. Jesus got me. I stay winning. Say I stay winning.
All right, y'all, I am using my big boy, my electric mixer, but if you don't have one, then fine, you can use a hand mixer. But we're going to combine our 1 cup of sugar and our 1/2 cup of unsalted butter that is softened. Let it sit out and get room temperature. You want to work with softened butter when you are baking. So here I'm adding the butter to my bowl, and we're going to give this mixture, we'll say 2 minutes to mix. So 2 minutes, we'll go ahead and beat the sugar and the butter until it's good and incorporated. And I'll show you what it looks like. That is the consistency that you want to see when you're mixing, even if you're using a hand mixer. All right, y'all, it's time to add in our eggs. And this is very important. We want to add 1 egg at a time. We're going to add 1 egg at a time, and then we're going to let it mix for a little while, making sure that it's all combined. And midway through, we want to stop the mixer or stop with your hand mixer and scrape down the sides of your bowl to make sure all of the eggs are being well mixed into your mixture. Y'all, once that first egg is blended nice and good, we'll go ahead and add the second egg, and we'll go ahead and repeat the same steps, making sure that it's mixed well, and then stopping it midway through. Scrape down the sides of your bowl, and then finishing off the mixing process. Okay guys, let's go ahead and add in our vanilla and almond extract. That is my little secret ingredient to my blueberry muffins. So we have 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. Now, if your mixture is going to look grainy, it is supposed to look like this. So if you see your mixture looking grainy like this, I'm trying to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it. It is supposed to look grainy like that, and I'll slow it down so you can see. Like that, guys, we're finished. I went ahead and changed out the head of my mixer because now we're working with dough or batter, so you want something more sturdy. So we're going to be incorporating our dry ingredients into our wet ingredients now. Now we're only going to do half at a time. So pour half of your mixture, your dry mixture, into your wet mixture. And then we're going to pour half of the milk into the bowl, and we're going to give that a good mix. Midway through, don't forget, guys, to scrape down the sides of your bowl, and that's what our mixture looks like. So we're going to do that 2 times until everything is nice and blended. All right, y'all, this is what our dough or our batter is looking like for our muffins. And I'm gonna give you a little close-up so you guys can see that texture. But now it's time to add in our blueberries. And I like to start with my frozen, thawed, and rinsed blueberries first. I'll use that first, and then I'll go back in with the fresh blueberries. It's just something about the frozen blueberries that I have found that tastes better, or it just makes it, I don't know, it gives the blueberry muffins a little oomph for me. So I like to use both the fresh and the frozen. All right, guys, now this is very important. We want to fold gently with a spatula our blueberries into our mixture. We don't want to break our blueberries up. We don't want to be too rough with it. We want to gently fold in our blueberries until it is all incorporated nicely into the mixture. If you want to add more blueberries, just eyeball it to your preference and just continue to fold it in. I like it right here, so I'm going to leave it right here because I always add more blueberries once I put it in the muffin pan. All right, y'all, we are almost done with these muffins. Now, I don't have any rhyme or reason how I scoop the batter into the paper liners. I just pretty much eyeball it. I'll get them all in there, all 12 filled, and then I'll go back and then adjust as needed.
Messiah reigns, everlasting love dwells. The one who is and will always remain. The wonders of Christ. wished I still felt to explain. Father, your love never ceases, even in the midst of my darkest days. Love flows like a river and never ever seems to run dry. So if all the breath in my lungs, I'll raise a hallelujah. So if all the breath in my lungs, I'll raise a hallelujah.
All right, y'all. So once I get the batter just about how I like it in each of the liners, I'll go ahead and start topping it off with a few blueberries. So when it bakes, I can see those blueberries popping through. Again, add as much as you like, or if you don't want to add any additional, again, this is going to be your preference. Here is our last step before we put it in the oven. So this is what the raw sugar looks like, and this is such a great addition. Now again, feel free to omit if this is not for you. It does add a little bit more sweetness to it, but it gives it a nice finish once it's all finished baking. And I just like to sprinkle a little on top before putting it in the oven. So yeah, this is the last step before we pop these babies in the oven, and then you'll see how everything turned out. Time to put our muffins in the oven. We're going to bake at 375 for 30 minutes. And then once it's finished, we're going to take it out the oven, let cool in the pan for 10 minutes before we transfer it to cool. Now y'all, I keep mine in there for the full 30 minutes because I like that extra brownness and crunch, but feel free to take it out early if you desire to, about 20 minutes or so. And here we are, y'all. This is our finished product. It has been cooling for 10 minutes in the pan. Now I'm going to take them out, let cool on a wire rack for an additional 20 minutes, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And then I'll put it in my little baking dish. So yeah, here are our muffins. I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know how they turned out for you.